All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from Cherry Street Brewing, and they're out of Cumming, Georgia, and this is their Stay Frosty. So they're calling this one an Imperial Oat Cream IPA that comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is approximately 2 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Tyler, over at South 10 Beer Reviews for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link not only to Tyler's channel, but the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with. And Tyler's a great guy, great channel, awesome content. Go check him out. He gets his hands on some fantastic beer. And he sent me this one, and I know nothing about Cherry Street Brewing, but when I unboxed this, this latest beer mail from him, or I should say the first beer mail he sent, I don't know why I said latest. I guess it is technically the latest, so I'm still correct. Anyway, I was looking at this one, and on the back here it says mouthfeel as smooth as DLR, and I was like, David Lee Roth? Yeah, this is technically an Eddie Van Halen tribute beer because they released this one on the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of his passing. And Stay Frosty is the name of a song off of their last album back in 2012. And I didn't know that because I didn't listen to that album, but a good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Jay, from This Guy's Thoughts, posted in the comment section, and that's why I didn't pick up on it. If it would have been named something else, I would have easily figured it out. When it comes to Van Halen, to me, there's so many great songs. My favorite is probably Running with the Devil. I don't know. I love it. Hot for Teacher, Panama. There's a lot. There's a lot of awesome songs from them. But it's really cool they did a tribute to them. So on the back here, they say hops in this one are Galaxy and Mosaic. Flavor, Tropical Punch, Eruption. See what they did there. And then mouthfeel as smooth as DLR. So David Lee Roth. Proudly brewed in Cumming, Georgia. Love your planet, like your music. Really cool that they did this. Now, when it comes to oat cream IPAs, other half's the king. They're the first time, they're the first brewery I ever had an oat cream IPA from. This is an Imperial one at 10%. So hopefully this is delicious. A couple months old, we should be fine. But yeah, I'm really pumped for this one. Like I said, hopefully it's delicious. Never heard of these guys, but always down to try new breweries. Let's give this a pour here. And that's looking pretty proper. Pretty proper, maybe a little bit dark, but it is 10%. So you don't see too many light, this is basically a triple IPA. They say Imperial Oat Cream, that's fine, but it's triple. So yeah, it has this like dark orange color, very murky and turbid, about a finger of a really tightly compact head. It's basically, yeah, it's like off-white, some alcohol legs on there. If you told me it's 10%, oat cream IPA, sure, all day long. Let's get a nose. Oh, that smells interesting. So this is definitely, I'm getting some malt in here. Now it is 2 months old, but it's also 10%. And that's the one thing when it comes to like 10+% beers, whether you call them an Imperial IPA or triple or whatever the case may be, I feel like it's tough to keep that sweetness restrained or balanced out. And in the nose, I can tell you right now, this smells really sweet. Yeah, real sweet. But I'm getting like guava in here. Yeah, like guava, passion fruit, kiwi, like fruits like that I don't typically get. This is a different aroma to me. Maybe a little of like an upper, I was gonna say underripened, more of like a ripened berry from the Mosaic. Orange, there's citrus. You could say pretty much any citrus, grapefruit, orange, tangerine, lemon, lime, whatever. For me, it's more like an orange and a grapefruit mix. Because they're using lactose, again, oat cream, I'm getting like a slight vanilla tinge, which is with the malt making it a bit sweeter in the nose. It's not giving me creamsicle-esque vibes. It's not like that sweet or like that pronounced vanilla, but it's definitely noticeable. Yeah, so this smells sweeter. I hope that this has either a punch of bitterness on the back end or something, maybe a huge dryness to break up all that sweetness, because this definitely smells sweet to me. And I like sweet beers, but when it comes to big, huge IPAs, I don't like them super sweet. I want them to be balanced to some degree. You know what I mean? We'll see. Anyway, thanks to Tyler. Let's see what this one has to offer. Cheers. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. This isn't bad, but I think the nose was just like way more bombastic and like boisterous and like punching in your face with flavor than the actual taste. Mine, this was like medium, touch over medium, a bit thin for 10%, but I've mentioned it once and I'll mention it again. If I get a big Imperial / triple IPA that's 10+%. It has a medium body. I'm cool with it. I like them to drink a little bit thinner. I don't want the body to be huge and viscous like an Imperial Stout or something. So I'm fine with that. The mouthfeel, I'll give them this. The mouthfeel is nice. Very soft and smooth on the palate, and there's a little bit of a creaminess there. It's lightly carbonated, so I think as far as like an oat cream IPA mouthfeel, they nailed it. I think they did a great job with the mouthfeel. The taste, though, it has sweet fruit, but I would say more of like a papaya, honeydew melon, sweeter, fleshier, creamier fruits. There's definitely like tangerine and orange and grapefruit, so it's citrus heavy with a papaya and a honeydew kind of feel. That guava and passion fruit and kiwi I was getting, I'm not really getting that in the taste. A little bit of like a stone fruit, like a mango here. But this is really sweet to me. It's not sickly sweet. It's not going to be cloying. I think I'll be able to finish the rest of this can, no problem. But I will say by the end of this can, I'll probably be like, yeah, I don't want another one of these. Not that I would at 10%, but you know what I mean? Like flavor-wise, it would just be like too much of one thing, and that's a sweet Imperial IPA. Yeah, this is good, but there's not really any bitterness here. Maybe a very mild bitterness. And this does not have a substantial dry. This is like slightly to semi-dry, kind of in that realm. I need something to stop the sweetness. There is a little bit of like a earthy kind of floral thing on the back of the palate, maybe slightly dank. I am not like tasting the malt as in like characteristics of the malt. I just get the big malt sweetness. I'm not like the caramel malt. There's a huge breadiness or whatever. It's just that it's amping up the hop notes and making them very sweet without anything to stop it. I don't hate this at all. I find this to be solid. It's good. I'm gonna drink the rest of that. I just think it's lacking in like the hop explosion I want. Is it because it's 2 months old? Probably not. But now I'm very curious to see what the other guy said. Tyler, I think he sent a can of this to Ridge over at Ridge, I think. I'm not sure. And I think he sent one to the guys over at FLX, Dan and Mike. I'll be curious to see what they think about it. Again, we all have different palates, so if they love it and I don't, just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And maybe they hate it more than I do. And by hate, I mean I don't hate this. But yeah, it's solid. It's okay. There's not much more to say about it. You got to be honest. So Tyler, I do appreciate you sending this one to me. I love everything about the theme to this one, the label, the name. It's a tribute to one of the greatest guitarists of all time. It's pretty fantastic. But the beer inside is just, to me, okay. It's solid. Not much more. So for me, the best one I can do rating-wise on Stay Frosty from Cherry Street Brewing, I give that 3.5 out of 5. It's the best I can do. Can't go any higher. I just feel like, to me, that's the problem with Imperial Oat Cream IPAs specifically, is because you're using lactose. Not only do you have a shit ton of malt in there to get the ABV to 10%, but now you're throwing lactose in it, which is non-fermentable and makes it sweeter. So you have the sweet malt plus the lactose, and it kicks it up. If you don't have something to balance that out, this is what happens. Not to say this is, to me, this is not cloying in the way of like a pastry stout where I want 3 or 4 ounces and I'm done. It's cloying in the fact that this comes in a 16-ounce can. This is meant to be something that, you're drinking an entire can of. And if I would split this with someone, I would be delighted. But to drink an entire can might be a bit much. I'm going to try and attempt to do so. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Price and availability, I have no idea. This where Tyler, hopefully chime in. What did you pay for this one? Be curious to know. I'd imagine like a 4-pack of this, like 20, 22 bucks, something like that. I would expect it to be somewhere in that realm. And availability, I have no idea. So Tyler, once again, let me know. If anybody has had anything from Cherry Street, what do you think about them? Now, people talk about first impressions, and I get a beer like this. I've never heard of Cherry Street. I drink this beer. I'm not overly impressed with it. But that doesn't mean they don't make other great beer. Maybe they do. So I'd love to try more from them down the line just to see kind of where they land. But at the end of the day, this is solid and okay. But I've had much better Imperial Oat Cream IPAs. I will say the ABV though. This is the one positive sipping on it. I do get a warming into the chest and the stomach. On the palate, there is no detection of that 10%. I would say it's like 8% blind. Like I know this is a bigger Imperial or double IPA, but it doesn't approach triple from a ABV standpoint, at least on the palate. So kudos to them for hiding the alcohol to some degree. But the taste just isn't really doing what I want it to do overall, but maybe it does for you. Anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Post in the comment section if you've had this one before, if you had anything from this brewery. Let me know what you thought about it, because I'd be curious. I hope someone out there really, really enjoys this one. I just don't. Sorry, Tyler, but I appreciate the chance shot. To the next one. Cheers.